The Community Television Consortium of Stark County presents this week's edition of What's Happening, the show about you, the people of Stark County. And now your host for tonight's program, Susie Vitale.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of What's Happening in Stark County. I'm Susie Vitale. Our first guest this evening is Dr. George Cease, who's from Doctors Hospital. And Dr. Cease, you're a cardiologist there, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you're here tonight to talk about heart attacks and recognizing some of the early signs. So what would be some of the early signs of a heart attack?
Well, they can vary from person to person, and some people may describe it as a chest pressure, some may describe it as a pain, but it can be a multitude of different things to different people. It can be shoulder or arm numbness or pain, mostly associated with exertion. And if you start exerting yourself and you notice every time you exert yourself, you start to have some pressure or discomfort, either in the chest, arm, or even jaw. There's people who had heart attacks who thought they had something wrong with their jaw or toothache. So it can be very varied as to the presentation, but anything that's reproducible time and time again with exertion in the same area should be an early warning sign of possible cardiac involvement.
Okay, now my Aunt Ethel was a couple weeks ago, was sitting at home late in the evening and got a pain down her arm. And it didn't go away. It was a sudden pain. It was pretty intense and didn't go away for quite some time. And she didn't know what to do, so she called the paramedics to come. And it turned out it wasn't a heart attack, which we were really glad for. But how do you evaluate the pain so you know what to do?
Well, we follow a basic rule that it's better to be safe than sorry, and it's better to rule out the worst case scenario, which would be your heart. There's multiple other causes of discomfort in your chest, ranging from musculoskeletal problems, arthritis in your ribs, all the way to diseases of the esophagus and food pipe that can mimic a heart attack. But it's much better to go to the hospital and be told that you have something other than your heart than to think you're having indigestion and stay home and die of indigestion when it's really your heart acting up. So I think it's much better to be safe, to go to the hospital, to rule out any cardiac cause of your pain, and then be told it's not your heart, rather than to find out after you've had a significant problem that it was your heart.
Is it generally true that it is made worse with exertion?
For the most part, there's two different types of causes of chest pain due to the heart, and one is due to blockages in the arteries, and that is almost always exacerbated by some type of exertion or stress or some type of involvement. There's another cause due to spasm of the artery that may occur just at rest or wake you up in your sleep or those type of things. But for the most part, the key points we look for, whether it occurs with or without exertion, as to whether it's indicative of blockages in the arteries.
Okay, now how important is it to get to the hospital as soon as possible? Is there a delay factor that makes it worse?
Probably the most important thing you can do is get there as quick as possible. There's been study after study that if we start medications and some blood thinners and other things, that the earlier we start them, the less damage that can be done. We like to use a little analogy that time is muscle, and that the more time that you waste not coming to the hospital, that it could be a heart attack, the more muscle that you may lose, and the overall outcome of anybody depends on how much heart muscle you have left. So the earlier that you get in, the better. And if you get in within an hour of the chest pain, most studies show that you can alleviate or just kind of decrease as much damage as possible. So the first hour is probably the most critical.
Okay, what are some of the things people can do to prevent a heart attack or to prevent heart disease?
There's a multitude of things, and some of the risk factors for having coronary disease is your family genes, and you can't change those, but you have a high blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol being elevated, being male is a risk factor in and of itself, and you try to change the things that you can change. So keep your blood pressure as low as possible. Try to keep your cholesterol low, keep your sugar under control, and have at least a healthy diet and exercise are the best things you can do. And there may be some persons whom we can't prevent heart attack no matter what we do.
That's for sure. We've only got about a minute left, but there is a program starting at Doctors Hospital. You want to tell us real quickly?
Yes, we're going to be starting a chest pain clinic or chest pain evaluation unit where We try to get you into the hospital within 24 hours and determine whether it really is or isn't your heart that's causing your chest pain. And we're trying to be available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So even on weekends, we can try to do some stress testing and some provocative tests and try to find out with a few blood tests and EKG and maybe walking on a treadmill within 24 to 36 hours whether this is or isn't your heart, and then go to the appropriate things that if we need to do it. And that's basically what we're trying to do, is try to get things as fast as we can, to get the people out as fast as we can, and make a diagnosis of whether they do or do not have coronary disease in a timely fashion.
Okay, real quickly, what's the phone number?
Phone number for Doctors Hospital is 837-7200.
Okay, thanks for coming this evening.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Judy Adams. Stay with us. Our next two guests are Judy Adams, who's the director of the Recovery Ministries, and Rita Forsyth, who is the coordinator of the Women's Seminar. And Judy, you're here first of all to talk about another program with the Recovery Ministry. So do you want to tell us what it is?
Right. We have a new class that's going to be for 5 weeks, and it's called Growing Through Divorce. This is 5 Friday evenings from 7:30 to 9 o'clock.
Okay, and where's it held?
It's held at First Friends in our library, and this is for those people who are separated or who are divorced. Some of them will have just completed our divorce recovery workshop, and this is a continuation for those who would like extra time to process more. We'll be using Jim Smoke's book, Growing Through Divorce. And we're welcoming anybody else that would just like to work through some of those issues during the holiday time.
Okay, so someone who hasn't taken the fall workshop still could come to this and maybe help themselves get over a rough time.
Yes, yes.
Okay, is that why you're offering this at Christmas?
Right. It seems like a crazy busy time, and it is that, but sometimes it's really lonely for people that are going through a divorce or are already divorced or they're separated, and so this is to help them through that difficult time during the month of December and January.
Okay, and is there a charge for this?
That will just be the cost of the book, and that will start December the 16th and run through January the 13th.
Okay, and what sort of thing how is this handled? Do they break up into small groups, or how do you do this?
There will be an opportunity to share in a small group, as well as hear a presentation with just hopeful and helpful insights from the book. Then they'll have the book to take home to read, to process.
Okay, now you have a lot of other programs going over there. If someone wants to find out about any of your other programs, or this one, what's the phone number they can call?
492-6333.
Okay, now Rita is here to talk about a seminar that's coming up in December or January. January. Okay, what's it called?
It's called The Silent Subject.
Okay, what is The Silent Subject?
We chose that title to tastefully approach the subject of sexuality.
Okay, and how did this idea come about to have a seminar about this?
Last April, in our Friday afternoon Bible study, we began a series on this topic, and it was so well done that we really wanted to share it with more gals. It made such an impact on us.
Okay, and how are you going to do this in your seminar? How many weeks does this last, or is it a one-time event?
It's just a one-time event. It's going to be a long day because it was meant to be crammed into like a weekend. But
okay, and when is it?
It'll be Saturday, January 14th.
Okay, and where are you going to have this?
It'll be at First Friends Church, and registration begins at 8:30 in the morning.
Do people need to pre-register?
Yes, they do. And there's a cost also, but it includes breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Okay, and what does it cost?
It'll be $17 for the day.
Okay, what number do they call if they want to make reservations?
They would call the church at 492-6333.
Okay, do they need to send their money in early, or can they pay at the door?
That's a really good question.
Preferably to send it in, but we could accept it at the door.
Okay, now what's this going to be like? If you're going to take all day on the subject, what's the day going to be like?
Well, we've called it the silent subject because for the most part it's kind of been ignored, and yet it's such a big part of everyone's lives that we really need to know the truth. And Christians are not only called to do the right thing, but with the right attitude. And so we really need to know what the truth is about our sexuality in order to even walk correctly.
Okay, and part of this is that people think that this is a no-no sort of thing, and this is really an enjoyable part of life that God intended to be enjoyable. So
that's right.
I assume that's what you're teaching.
That's right.
Okay, so if someone wants to know about the 5-week course, which is the follow-up for the divorce, and that starts December 16th,
7:30 in the evening.
Okay, and that's for 5 weeks.
5 Friday nights.
Or if they
child care is included.
Oh, child care, okay. Or if they want to know about the silent subject, and when is that date?
January 14th.
Okay, and that's an all-day event.
Correct.
Okay, what's the number that they call, and who could they ask for, or would anyone that answered the phone know?
492-6333, and they could ask for me, Judy Adams, or talk to our receptionist.
Okay, and you have a lot of other topics that you deal with there. You have 12-step programs and different programs for sexual abuse and divorce for children. So there's a lot that they can find out about. Okay, thanks for coming this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We've got more. Stay with us. Our next two guests are from the American Heart Association. We have Ann Callison and Kathy Ray. And Kathy, you're here to talk about an event that's coming up. What is it called?
It's Dance for Heart.
Okay, what is this event like?
It's aerobics and step aerobics for 2 to 3 hours, one afternoon, a Sunday afternoon, and the participants get pledges to win prizes, and we have a lot of door prizes from area merchants.
This sounds like fun. When is it going to be?
On March 12th.
March 12th, okay. So that gives you a good amount of time to get some pledges together.
Right. We want to get all the packets to everyone so they can start right out the first of the year and start getting their pledges.
Okay, how do you get a packet?
You need to call the American Heart Association, or you can call my facility as well.
Okay.
And we can personally deliver them to you, whether you're an individual or if you're a facility which wants to participate. And then on December 14th, we'll have from noon to 4, you can go into the Heart Association and pick up information.
Okay, so when you get your packet of information, you go out, you sign people up, and what do they do, per hour or per minute, sir?
It doesn't matter, whichever way they want to do it. Most people just get a pledge overall, not per minute or per hour. They'll say, okay, we'll give you $5 if you're going to do it. And they write it up like that.
Okay, is this going to be held one particular place, or are different people going to be doing this different places?
No, this is our 4th year. We call it a citywide event. It's open to anyone in Stark County, and we all go to one area. And so far, it's been at Walsh University, has been our most successful place. So we have that lined up again for March.
Okay, I bet it's pretty busy there for a while. Do you have any kind of refreshments there in case people get...
Yeah, we always have fruit and water and often power bars, some type of energy food to keep everyone going.
Well, that's a good idea. It's a good themed event for the Heart Association. Okay, now, Ann is here to talk about another event, and do you want to tell us what your event is called?
Yes, it's the first annual Stark County Heart Gala, and it will be held June 16th and 17th, 1995. We've contracted with the Kelly Miller Circus to provide entertainment, and the evening, Friday evening, there will be a private 1-hour performance under the Big Top for our black tie guests, and on Saturday there will be 3 general admission performances also.
Where are you going to have this? Will this be downtown in the auditorium?
No, this is a nostalgic, old-fashioned circus. They actually put up a big top, and the elephants help raise it. And it's a 3-ring circus. It will be held at Fulton in Wales, next to Jackson High School on the property owned by Timken Mercy. They've been kind enough to donate their property.
Okay, this sounds like something worth coming even to watch you setting up. It sounds like there'll be some good photo opportunities.
There is a tent raising event on Friday morning and the gala then on Friday evening. And it will really draw in the entire community because of the different events planned as part of the gala.
Okay, it sounds a little bit unusual to have people coming in black tie to see a circus. Do you want to explain about this?
Yes. We are actually going to be calling it Creative Black Tie. But it's a very unusual way of being able to dress up and have a dinner served to you under the big top with the circus entertainment and music for dancing afterward. So I think it'll appeal to a lot of people.
Now, are you having live music or a disc jockey or what?
Touche has been contracted with for cocktail music and after circus dancing.
Well, this sounds like a lot of fun. So if someone wants to get tickets, what are the tickets going to cost?
The gala tickets will be $100 a person, and the general admission tickets are $5 for children and $7 for adults.
Now, the proceeds for this will all be going to the Heart Association?
Yes, they will.
Okay, is there going to be any kind of auction there as well? Or?
We are hoping to and planning a raffle that is still in the planning process, and so we will be getting some prizes and making that available to the general public.
Okay, so the proceeds generally from the sale of the tickets is what will be making your benefit worthwhile, and it should be pretty big.
We're anticipating quite a crowd. We will hopefully have 4,500 attending the general admission and 300 to 350 at the black tie, and we are soliciting sponsorship from the corporations in Stark County also.
Okay, if someone's interested in getting more information, and I've invited you to come back in the spring and talk about this again, what's the number that they would call?
It's at the Heart Association, 456-2871.
Okay, thanks for coming this evening. Next up, we have the Canton Ballet. Stay with us. Our next two guests are from the Canton Ballet. We have Chris Ferlin, who is the general manager, and Jennifer Hayward, who is a dancer, teacher, and former student of the Canton Ballet. Okay, Chris, you're here to talk about what?
The Nutcracker.
The Nutcracker. Of course, it's Christmas time. Okay, this has become a Canton tradition. How long have you been doing this?
I think this is our 12th year, successive year, 12 years in a row. We did it for a few years, then we tried Cinderella, and everyone said, oh heavens, we have to have the Nutcracker. So I think this is the 12th year now in a row.
Okay, where do you have this?
We perform at the Palace Theater. That is the performing home of the Canton Ballet because of the beautiful proscenium stage. We like to perform there.
It's so beautiful. And a few years ago, I guess it was several years ago now, you got some really beautiful backdrops. Do you want to tell us about those?
Right. For the celebration of our 25th year, we had all new scenery, and it was made possible by a donation from the Henry and Louise Timken Foundation, $25,000 donation, and that paid for beautiful backdrops which we had created at the Indiana University Opera Department. The scenic designer there designed and painted those. Gorgeous.
They're
when you look at them, they look real. It almost looks real.
They're really beautiful. Now, when is the Nutcracker going to be held?
This year, Friday, December 16 at 8 p.m., Saturday the 17th at 2 p.m. and 8 p.m., and Sunday the 18th at 2 p.m.
Okay, how do people get tickets?
Call us now. The box office is open. You can call 455-6880 Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. till 5 p.m., and you can charge tickets to MasterCard or Visa.
That's great. Now, this is very well attended, so if people want to go, they
should call now. This is the first week we've been open officially to the public, and the tickets will go fast. In fact, we have 3 price levels, and the most expensive seating is practically all sold out now.
Okay.
But there's still plenty of good seats left.
And what could be more beautiful than the Nutcracker at the Palace?
Oh, really, it is. It is gorgeous.
It's perfect. Okay, now, Jennifer, you're one of the dancers in the Nutcracker. Do you want to tell us about the part that you dance?
Well, this year I play Mrs. Stahlbaum, which is Clara's mother. Clara's the little girl who gets the Nutcracker. So that's what I'm doing this year.
Okay, and you're a teacher there as well
That's
as
correct.
a former student. So you
Yes.
spend a lot of time there.
A whole lot of time.
Okay, do you want to tell us about when you started dancing with the Canton Ballet? How old were you?
I was 8 years old, and I went up through the ranks and eventually made it to company and danced in the Nutcracker many, many times, all different parts, Spanish and Sugar Plum Fairy. I started out as a little girl in the party scene, so I've kind of done everything.
I know there are a lot of little girls, or maybe not so little girls now, that are taking lessons at the Canton Ballet, and they just really dream of being a
That's right.
ballerina. And you've done it. You've come up through, and it really takes a lot, though. Do you want to sort of give us an idea as to how much time it takes in dedication?
Well, it takes a lot of time, but it's not bad. It's good. You know,
Right.
you want to be
You
there.
have to love it.
And your friends become there at ballet. Your family are your ballet dancers and the teachers that are teaching you. I remember I'd ask to go to ballet even when I didn't have to be there. I'd tell my parents, I have ballet today, just so that I could go and sit and watch the other girls. So it was a lot of hard work, but it was rewarding. It felt good, and the time you put in, it starts out 1 day a week, and as you go on, you increase to 2 days a week, and then it's 3 days a week, and pretty soon it's 4 times, and then 6 times, and then you're there pretty much all week, every day. But you're always getting ready for some kind of performance or something when you're there that much, and so it's worthwhile.
Now, the performance of the Nutcracker is like a gift that the Canton Ballet gives to the community by the performance. How much extra time, say you're there 6 hours or 6 days a week with your lessons, what extra time do you have to put in then for your performance, for the practice for your performance?
Well, I don't teach 6 days a week, so that makes it nice. Also, I've done the party scene for probably, that's what I'm doing this year, like 5 years. So by now, I have it. My husband's in it this year, though, so that's a little different.
That's great.
So.
Who should we look for?
John Hayward is his name, so he's
Okay.
my partner. He'll see.
Oh, that's
It's
great.
Mr. Stahlbaum.
That's great. We've only got about 30 seconds left, so do you want to review what the dates are and the number to call?
Friday, December 16th, Saturday, December 17th, Sunday the 18th. Call 455-6880 to reserve tickets.
And do it soon. Thanks for coming this evening.
Thank you. Thanks.
Next up, we have the calendar of events with Natalie Gelfo. Stay with us. Next up is Natalie Gelfo with the calendar of events. Natalie?
The Players Guild will collect toys during the performances of A Christmas Carol, November 25th through December 22nd, for its annual Toys for Tiny Tim program, working with the Community Christmas and Partners in Service. The Guild will distribute the toys to the needy area children. Donated toys must be new but should not be wrapped. They may be placed in the red sleigh in the Players Guild main lobby in the Cultural Center for the Arts. The tickets for the performance may not be purchased in order to donate a toy. For more information, call 453-7619. Inscribed bricks are being sold for the Massillon Museum sidewalk. The cost is $50 for 2 lines or $75 for 3 lines. The inscribed bricks will replace the plain pavers as orders are placed. To order, fill out a form at the museum or at the Massillon Area Chamber of Commerce office. For more information, call 833-4061. Leadership Stark County will hold a sale of custom-designed Afghans in early December. Funds raised will go for Leadership Stark County programs and scholarships. The Afghan shows the Courthouse Angels, McKinley Monument, and many other symbols of area industries. The reversible throw is available in neutral with a navy, cranberry, red, or hunter green back. Cost is $48. For more information, call 456-7253. Tim Graham, operator of Tuffy Auto Centers at 2852 Whipple Avenue Northwest and 2105 Columbus Road Northeast, will take $5 off the cost of any service performed if a customer donates a non-perishable food item during the holiday season. Graham says the items will be given to the local area church that will distribute the items to the needy. For more information, call 478-2558. Master Touch Cleaners and several other sponsors will make the winter a little warmer for Canton area families through their annual Coats for Christmas program. Residents can drop off the coats at Canton Center Mall and area Acme Supercenter, Dairy Queen, and Master Touch Cleaner stores. The drive especially needs children's coats in all sizes, as well as adult sizes and plus sizes for men and women. The coats will be cleaned by Master Touch Cleaners, sized, sorted, and distributed by Salvation Army. Those interested in receiving a coat should contact Salvation Army Social Service Department at 453-0158. Other sponsors of the program are WAKC-TV Channel 23, Acme Supercenters, Ketwell and Associates, and Ernest Young CPAs. Area Fashion Bug stores are collecting food, toys, and money to benefit Access, a Summit County shelter for battered women and children, Harvest House, a Summit County homeless shelter, and smaller shelters for battered women near each Fashion Bug store nationwide. Cash donations will be used to purchase holiday dinners, as well as surplus money will go towards toiletries and clothing. Area donations can be taken to the Fashion Bug store at the Oak Park Center at 2420 Lincoln Way East, Massillon, Ohio, between 10 a.m. and 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. on Sunday. For more information, call Kelly Ames at 833-4464. Sears stores will give up to $500,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation, an organization which grants wishes to children with life-threatening diseases. Sears stores will donate 50 cents from the sale of each plush star ornament introduced at the stores at $4.99 this week. The company will also donate to the foundation based on Sears charge transactions between November 25th through December 24th. For more information, call 966-3200. The Canton Discovery Zone Fun Center, located at the Springbrook Plaza on Whipple Avenue, will give a $1 discount on their next visit to children who contribute a new unwrapped toy to Toys for Tots at the Canton Fun Center now through December 21st. For more information, call 493-4554. You can help a family through the repository's Adopt a Family program or a cash donation by calling a Community Christmas at 454-3941. Donations can be sent to a Community Christmas P.O. Box 20050, Canton, Ohio 44701. Both programs are part of a Community Christmas and Partners in Service. If your nonprofit club or organization would like to appear on What's Happening in Stark County, simply write us at Community Television Consortium, P.O. Box 8335, Canton, Ohio 44711, or contact us at 493-8925. What's Happening in Stark County can be seen on Tuesday evenings at 6 o'clock, Thursdays at 6:30 on Warner Cable Channel 11, or Thursdays at 7:30, Massillon Cable Channel 50.
Thanks, Natalie. All of us here at the CTC would like to wish you and yours a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. That wraps up another edition of What's Happening in Stark County. Thanks for joining us.